Hello, this is Chris DeSalvatore, and in this tutorial, we are going to create a mesh from an AutoCAD sketch and convert it to a thermal desktop polygon and a finite element. So let's get started. First thing I'd like to point out here is that across the top of the window, you can see that we have two lines of commands. We've got the menu bar across the top, and we have the ribbon bar that is below that. On some instances, when you open the program, you may see just the ribbon bar and not the menu bar. So there's an easy way to remedy that, and I'll demonstrate that in case that happens to you. I'll go ahead and type menu bar in the command line at the bottom. Um, and you can see that it defaults to the value of 1, which is going to show you the menu bar. But in the event that's defaulted to the value of 0, in a 0 there, you may not see the menu bar. So in order to remedy that, since I just typed that command, I can hit enter and I'm back in the menu bar command. I can go ahead and type in 1 there and my menu bar is back. So um, next, one of the important things you'll want to check when you begin any analysis is to go into thermal and go into your preferences, and you get the pull down arrow here. So go ahead and click that. And that tells you what all of your units are defaulted when you open your program. So in this particular case, we're going to be using inches instead of meters. Everything here is in metric as it opened up. So I can just pull down the menu bar there and go ahead and type in inches. And since we're not going to be using any of these other units here, I don't have to worry about those in this tutorial. So I can go ahead and click OK and get out of that. Um, so if you open the program and you're in the Southwest isometric view, you can see by the UCS icon here, X, Y, and Z is telling you that. For this tutorial, we're going to want to look down at the XY plane. So I can do that by going ahead and going into View and 3D Views and click Top. So Top is going to give us the XY plane. We're going to be generating our sketch to begin defining our feature. So I'm going to go ahead and begin the sketch. I can go into the Home tab of the ribbon bar and click Line here, or I can go into Draw and I can get to the Line command there. If you're a beginning user, the pull-down menu is going to be handy to navigate to the commands. Once you've been using the program for a while, you'll become familiar with where all of the icons are, and you won't need to do that. You can go directly to the icons and accomplish that by just one click to the command you want. So we're going to draw a line from the origin. The two options of entering that here. We can either enter that by the cursor field, which is shown highlighted here to enter the X. I could do that there, or I could go down in the command line and type it there as well. So either way, it's going to give you the same thing. So we'll start at the origin. I'll enter 0 for X, hit comma to go to Y, hit 0 for Y. And now I have the beginning of the line. So I'm going to want to draw the first feature up an inch from the origin. So for the second point, I'm going to go 0 in the X, comma 1 in the Y direction. And that generates our line from the origin an inch in the Y direction. I can go ahead and enter. That takes us out of the command. So as you can see, that feature is generated. So since I was in the line command, I can go ahead and enter again. Go back to the line command, and I'm going to generate another line to the right of this, twice as long. So the start point of that line is going to be 1 in the X and 0 in the Y. That starts at an inch over. I'm going to make this twice as long in the vertical, so it's asking for the next point. So we're going to be 1 in the X and 2 in the Y. Okay, so that generates our line. It's going to be the right side of our feature. I can go ahead and exit the command by entering here. Okay, so now that we've generated the initial features to create our surface, We can go into the rule surf command, which we can type in rule surf. And that'll pop up where you can select it if you want to, or you can just enter rule surf there. Now, there's something at this point you're going to want to be careful of when you generate the surface. You need to pick towards the same ends of each of your features in order for that surface to be generated properly. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So it's asking me to select the first feature and then the next feature, and it gives me the surface separated into 6 segments. Um, so that's going to generate it the way you want. But if you select in a different way, and I'll demonstrate that here, you can select the mesh here, and I can go ahead and either do the edit delete over here in the pull down menu, or I can hit the delete key on my keyboard. It'll do the same thing here in this situation. But if I go back into the rule surf command, and say I'm trying to create a surface from this line to this line. If I clicked up here and then I click down here, it's not going to give me the surface that I'm intending here. So you have to be careful to pick towards the ends, uh, towards the same end so that you generate your surface as you're intending. So I can go ahead and get rid of this by I could either delete that or you can actually go back. The arrows up are up here to go back before your previous command. So if I click that arrow, it's just before trying to create that surface. So I can go back into rule surf. And I can pick, as long as I pick at the same ends, I'm fine. So I'll pick at the bottom end this time. I pick this feature, and it's going to come out okay. All right, so now we're going to create a node to define this surface. Um, so that's done by going into thermal. You go to surfaces and solids, and then from AutoCAD surface. And all I need to do here now is to select the surface, go ahead and enter. It's going to bring up a dialog box. If you want to change your settings at the beginning of this the creation of this feature, you can do that here, but we're not going to do anything and change this and make any other kind of complications. So we're just going to accept the defaults and go ahead and hit OK. And you can see that now we have one node representing this whole surface. So if you want to go ahead and add nodes to each one of the sections of the surface, you can go into that command, go into thermal and modeling tools, and we're going to toggle the RD mesh nodalization. So in for this command, we need to select all of the entities. I can do that either by sweeping an area over the whole feature, or I could have entered all in the command line. So if I go ahead and enter, it's going to give me nodes in each one of the sections here. So in the event that I wanted to have 3 sections in that surface, there's a way to do that. I'll just select this and delete it to demonstrate that that feature. You can go into Surf tab. And you can see in the command line, it's defaulted to 6 with this geometry that we created. It generated 6 segments. So if we want to change that, we can add the number of segments we want. So I'll just go ahead and enter a 3 here. If I go back and try to generate my surface, I can go back into rule surf. And select as we did before the first and second feature. And now you see we got that divided into 3 segments. So you can control the number of segments on the feature that you generate by going through those steps. Now, there's another way to generate the surface. I can go ahead and delete this one. And it's going to be the edge surf command. And you can use that when you have a feature that is defined with a contiguous line around the edges. So I'll go ahead and create that in this situation. I can select the line command. And if you have clearly distinct features already, and you're going to generate a line, and go ahead and click at the end of the lines, and you'll be able to enter your line that way. I'll enter to get out of the command. Or I could have done the same thing, entering coordinates there. Both ways will work. So I'll go ahead and enter and go back into the line command, and I'll close up this feature on the top. So now I have an enclosed feature, and I can use the rule surf, or actually rather the edge surf command to generate our surface. Okay, so I can go into edge surf. Okay, so now it's asking us to select the entities, and there's two ways that you can do that. You can either go counterclockwise or clockwise, but you need to select the entities as they're connected to execute this command. So I'll go counterclockwise around here to generate the surface, and you can see that it's made the surface with the 3 segments vertically and the 6 segments horizontally, as it'll get defined by the edge command with this geometry. So if we want to create a finite element from here, we go ahead and do thermal FDFEM network and convert AutoCAD surface to nodes. Okay. So at this point, we're going to need to select the entire feature and go ahead and hit enter. It's going to bring up the dialog box. And again, we're not going to try to change any of the settings and complicate it at this point. We can accept all the defaults. Go ahead and hit OK. It's going to come back and tell you you didn't change anything. Are you sure you want to go through this command? That's basically what's saying there. So go ahead and hit OK there. So now you've generated finite elements with your nodes and defined at your corners. So after you've done that, you may have duplicated nodes and overlapping at the corners in some of your adjacent features. So the way to control that is to go into thermal. I brought down my zoom window. I got to wait for that to get out of the way so I can select this. Okay, so go into thermal, modeling tools, and resequencing IDs. So it's asking to select. So I'll go ahead and I could either type all or sweep and pick everything. And I can go ahead and enter. And it's going to bring up a window to give you the option of starting node number. And, we'll start at node 1 here. And it's going to ask also what you want to increment your node numbers as. And we're going to increment it once. There's no reason to change that. We can OK the default values here. So now we can see here at the bottom, we have 28 nodes generated, which is what we want because we have 4 nodes of 7, which is 28 altogether. So that is the way that you generate a finite element model from a AutoCAD sketch. So hope you enjoyed that and got something out of it.